I'm back with the Saints recap. And week 4, Saints lose another close game to the Minnesota Vikings from a Will Lutz crossbar field goal 61-yarder. Now, this is my third time in a row coming on here saying the Saints lose another game. I don't want to make this a habit. I know the fans don't want to make this a habit. And the games we are losing, we going through up and down heart attacks, and I can't take it. It's only week 4. I ain't going to make it. Win these games. These games are close, but I want to get to some points. First, I want to get this out of the way because they make me furious. These referees just piss me off. And yes, I hit my table. I don't like hitting my table, but they piss me off. I just gotta say, ooh, they don't like us. This name on my shirt, where is it? Let me get in the camera. This name right here, Saints. The NFL referees do not like us. I don't know what is it. Why they don't like us? Is it because of Baldygate? What was that? 10 years ago, 2012. It can't be because of that. It can't be. Because they got Deflategate and they got Brady. Brady get the calls. What is the problem with the NFL in these bad calls consistently with the Saints? I know the Saints fans, we wouldn't be mad if it happens every now and then, but every week it seems every week. I'm exaggerating every week because everybody get booming their calls, but pivotal points of the game, the refs show up to decide the game for the Saints. The Saints make a nice drive, take the lead. It's time for the defense to step up. 2 pivotal blown calls, just blatantly blown calls by the referees in a whole nother country. First, the one on Tyrann Mathieu, illegal hands to the face. Hands didn't even touch his face. Second call was really big third down. And this rule needs to be changed. They need to change this just to 15 yards. When you pass interference down the field, stop putting it at the spot of the ball because quarterback just throw it up, hoping for a flag, and sometimes they're rewarded with it. If it's a flag, just put them for 15 yards. 15-yard penalty for pass interference. That should be the most yards you could get for a penalty. So you mean to tell me if I throw the ball 70 yards down the field and it's a pass interference, the ball goes 70 yards down there? Get rid of that rule, NFL. Get it like the college rule. But this Marshawn Lattimore penalty on Adam Thielen when Adam Thielen pulls his face mask just irked my nerves because they just gave this team 7 points on that drive. Pivotal third downs, got him down, and Justin Jefferson gets his first touchdown of the game, who had a nice game as well with a 1-yard rush TD, man. That drive, it was just demoralizing for the team, demoralizing for the fan base, just watching them flags being thrown on big downs that the Saints are getting stops on. They got stops on both of these third downs, but you look up and it's a flag that kills us. Now, I want to get off the refs because they really just grind my gears. But I want to get out because at the end of the day, the Saints are 1-3, and this is 3 losses in a row. And let's get to the bad. And one of the bad I want to get to is missed tackles. The tackling for the Saints defense, the defense has been great, but the tackling is iffy. Like the first play, they get a fortunate call in the first quarter on the goal line when they get a pick play and they call the flag on Justin Jefferson on a rub route. They get back to third and something from the goal line deep, like from the 12-yard line or something, and they Kirk Cousins throws a routine wide receiver screen pass to the running back, Madison. I think it was 3 missed tackles on that play, and just pursuit of the ball was not there, and a missed tackling led to 7 points, which should have been mandatory 3. That the tackling on his team, fundamentals, wrapping up, gang tackling, the Saints have to get back to that and be better in tackling. Another thing I want to touch on is another slow start for the offense. Another slow start for the offense. This coaching and play calling, they have to find a way to get this offense going better. Starting early in the first quarter. They have to find it. The Saints are one of the worst teams in scoring points in the first quarter. I don't know the exact stat off the top of my head, but you guys get the point if you watch it. And the Saints are losing these games close by. And the little mistakes are crazy. Go ahead, bro. But I'm back. Distraction right there. But these Saints games, they just giving everybody heart attacks. And the slow starts and the turnovers are killing the Saints along with the penalties. The penalties, self-inflicted penalties, even though the refs come up big in that point, the penalties kill drives for the Saints. No matter who's at quarterback, Andy Dalton filled in. He got a taste of what penalties on the offense kill drives, and that just it's just tough to win like that when the Saints are making so many plays that just stop the rhythm for their team. 2 more fumbles, one by Andy Dalton and one by Deontay Hardy, and it's just tough losing possessions because you fumble and you lose. It ain't like you fumbling and you getting a recovery. You fumble in good field position, which gave Carolina, Minnesota 3 points. Deontay Hardy fumbles in there in our territory on a punt return, trying to do too much, which I'm high on Deontay Hardy, but he hasn't been getting the opportunities this season, and that's why in a previous video I think he will be traded because he doesn't even look like he's into it. And who can blame him? You're not using them on offense. You barely get a chance on returns. So in this league with them pushing it up, so it's hard to get into it when you know you're talented and you can't get on the field. But one good from this game, but the wrap up of the bad. The Saints have to stop turning the ball over and committing penalties, and this comes down to coaching. Coaching has to get his team ready. 10 penalties is way too much. The team is not disciplined, and that has to be cleaned up if the Saints want to win these games because these are close games. And these penalties are killing them in the long run. The Saints are 1-3. They could easily be 0-4 without a fantastic fourth quarter from James on the Atlanta game. And these are division games they're losing. Carolina, Tampa Bay, Minnesota not in the division, but they're in the conference. And these games will be big for playoff seeding if the Saints want to get in the playoffs, losing to these NFC teams and division teams. So they're last in the division right now. So, but one good thing is, hey, the division is not pretty good. The division is 2-2. Tampa just lost to the Chiefs. So the division is not real good right now. So the Saints have some breathing room to improve and get better. But I want to get to some good. The run game. Latavius Murray was a breath of fresh air off the practice squad. Previously was with the Saints, I think a couple years ago or last year, I believe. But he ran the ball tough, ran it great. I love the energy he brought. He had a tough, gritty first touchdown on the goal line, on the 1 yard line, and he ran for, let me see if I get this right. I don't want to misquote his stats because he came up big. 11 carries, 57 yards. That's 5.2 yards per carry. And he ran the ball really well, and I like that. And that was good to see because this is one of the first times we've seen the Saints running game show up this season, and they're going to need that for when Jameis gets back running the show because that play-action pass will be real big, and that can open up some shots down the field if they get that run game going with Chris Olave and other receivers down the field. I want to touch on Andy Dalton. Solid game, good game. Didn't make too many mistakes. Avoided a couple interceptions, though. Some dangerous passes like in Minnesota didn't pick those off. But overall, he had a solid game. What I expected from Andy Dalton. Control the game. Don't make too many iffy plays. Don't make the I don't even know don't make the play that will lose the Saints the game. He filled in pretty great. I don't know if he will play again with Jameis' help, but I'm okay with him if he plays again if Jameis is not healthy because Andy Dalton won't lose you too many games. So I'm pretty good with that. Another thing I want to hit on. Justin Jefferson had a big game. Marshawn Lattimore played this probably was the best receiver he played this season. Yeah, there's nobody on the Falcons or Carolina. He played. Justin Jefferson was his best receiver he played this season, and Justin Jefferson got a few balls on him, got a deep ball late that really set Minnesota up to win this game. I would say with the field goal. Caught Marshawn in press coverage, but he didn't touch him at all. So that was a mistake by Lattimore, but Justin Jefferson had a good game. Marshawn Lattimore made some plays against him. Justin Jefferson made some plays against him. And that's a matchup. I know those two was talking all game, and it was physical from the beginning when Marshawn slung him down on the first little bubble of play. Justin caught on the first play of the game. But one more thing I want to talk about for these Saints, another bright spot. Chris Olave is the man. He is a jewel that they found, and I think someone will be expendable if Chris Olave keeps playing like this, because when the Saints get someone and they trade off another player, but I'm not gonna say what player, but someone can be some players can be expendable with the way Chris Olave is playing, and I'm gonna have one of those jerseys, Chris Olave jersey. I'm just saying, but y'all know what I mean. But yeah, that's my recap. I ain't want to get too deep into it because the Saints they losing these close games, and like I said earlier, they could easily be 0-4, and they could easily be 4-0. It's simple as that. They're 1-3. They not in the middle. They stole a game in Atlanta that they could have easily lost. They could have easily won the Tampa game. All these games are here for the taking for the Saints. The offense is starting slow and the defense holding up, but they can't do it every week, as you've seen. Great defenses have lapses as well, and the offense have to win some games for the defense. The defense playing their part. The D-line woke up. I love what Cam Jordan and Davenport did this game. I've been asking for this D-line to show up, and they showed up pretty well. They did their thing, and I love to see that. But the Saints have Seattle coming up next week. I might be going to that game, so hopefully they win this one. They're facing Geno Smith. This is probably the Saints haven't faced any amazing quarterbacks yet because Tom Brady hasn't played amazing this season. They played Marcus Mariota, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, and now they're about to play Geno Smith. And we're 1-3. So I don't think it's going to get not too much worse than those slew of quarterbacks. No offense, but these quarterbacks that we play probably are the worst quarterbacks that we're going to play this season. I have to look at the schedule. But I'm pretty sure Marcus Mariota, Geno Smith, and Baker Mayfield, who are all on not their beginning teams who they started with, they are the worst quarterbacks we're going to face this season. So we have to get it together, win these close games. And I want to give a big shout out to Will Lutz because he is the man. We don't fault you for that missed field goal. Even though it was a 61-yarder, we wasted 2 plays when we could have got an easy another 3 or 4 or 5 yards to make it easier for you, even though you hit a 60-yarder before. They're asking a lot of you. We don't blame you for that. Good kick. Keep kicking it. One of the best kickers in the league. But Seattle up next week, like I said. The Saints will want to win this one. I don't care if the division is not that good right now. They have to capitalize on this conference game and beat the Seattle Seahawks because I believe the Saints are a better team than them. I don't know who's going to be at the quarterback position, Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton, but I'm confident no matter who's there, we're going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. But then again, I was confident we were going to beat Carolina. I was confident we was going to beat Minnesota. And I was confident we was going to beat Tampa. So you never know. Hopefully everybody gets healthy. Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Marcus May comes back. Andrews Pete comes back. Hopefully they get healthy. And Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael have to find a way to get this team off to faster starts. This is week 4 recap. I know it's tough, y'all, but I'm out. See y'all next week against the Seattle Seahawks. And like I said, I might be going to that game, and I will have a Chris Olave jersey because he is a stud. I'm out.